These are HBZs, the Harley Benton shit. Hey everybody, it's just me again, Wayne, with another look at the Harley Benton SC-1000. I did a review of this guitar just a few days ago, and it occurred to me after the review was up online, and it's still there, that I didn't really address the fundamental point that most folks will want to have addressed, that they'll have in mind when they go to look at such a review. Should you buy this guitar? Specifically, for the money, is it worth it? Yes. Yes, it is. For $200, essentially, what do I get from Harley Benton with the SC-1000? Well, I'll tell you. And let's start with that price point, shall we? This thing lists on the Harley Benton, the Tomon USA website as of the day I'm making this video for 195 American dollars. That's essentially what it was when I purchased it, or my wife purchased it, I should say, here several months ago. With shipping, that comes out to a grand total, or came out to a grand total of $228. So what do you get for that money? Well, let's tell you what you don't get. You don't get a maple fretboard. But then who expects one on a Les Paul style guitar? You don't get a fully dressed neck, which I really prefer. You don't get locking tuners. These aren't Grovers, these aren't Schallers, these aren't Fred's Locking Tuner Company anti-braking non-skid system tuners, something like that. You don't get name brand pickups. These aren't EMGs. These are HBZs, the official Harley Benton brand of active pickup. What else don't you get? Well, there's not a lot else you don't get. If you're after a Les Paul style guitar, meaning you want that Gibson scale length of 24.75 inches, you want essentially access to 21 frets, and you want a nice heavy guitar, something that feels like a damn guitar when it's around your neck, with a set neck, you can't hardly go wrong with this axe. Now, the action, how does it play? I think it plays really well. When I reviewed this guitar the first time, I said I wasn't real wild about the fretboard, and I'm going to stand by that. This is roseacre or something that's used now in place of rosewood, but then I don't really like rosewood fretboards either. So I just don't think they're as smooth. I don't enjoy them as much as I do the sensation of a maple fretboard. That having been said, this plays pretty well. And the action on this thing right now is as low as on any guitar I have ever played or owned, which is a bit redundant, isn't it? This cutaway here on the back of the guitar, it doesn't make up for the fact that this is a really thick neck. It starts getting chunky before the end of the 13th fret space. And this does have 24 frets, and I really wanted 24 frets on a 24.75 inch scale guitar. But it's so hard to get to those upper frets that for me, the last 2 or 3 frets might as well not even be there. Now, that having been said, that's not as big of a strike against the guitar as it might sound like, because on your standard Les Paul style guitar, it's only got 21 frets, and you can't reach the 20th or the 21st fret on those things either, hardly. So, this is probably going to do you for most of your fretwork needs. Now, maybe you're thinking about this guitar for yourself. Maybe you're thinking about it for someone else. Maybe you're a parent and you've got a kid who wants to get into playing guitar. Well, I'll tell you, this is a good time to be buying a first guitar, because for essentially the same price you would have paid, say, 30 years ago to get, pardon my language, a shitty guitar, you can get what is now, I would say, a professional grade model of instrument. Like this one, for example. I would not be afraid for even a moment to take this on stage. I wouldn't be afraid to have this as a primary guitar, let alone a backup guitar, let alone something I'm just jamming on in my dining room, which is where I do all my playing these days. And this is a guitar that, if you're thinking about getting one of these for your kids or your spouse or your brother or whoever is thinking about learning guitar, this is not a guitar they're going to grow out of. Now, they may grow horizontally as they, as they increase their guitar playing skills. They may decide that they want a tremolo system. They may decide they want access to all 24 of those frets. Maybe they decide they just like the look of a double cutaway, a Strat-style body, better than they do a single cutaway guitar like this one. But as far as growing out of a guitar, getting to a point where you just want to do things on the guitar that you can't because the guitar is just not a quality enough instrument, I don't think you're going to have that problem with this. I think the worst you're going to have to do is maybe replace the tuners. They've stayed in tune for me pretty well so far, but I am noticing a little bit of slippage now that I've played this thing for a couple of weeks. Not a lot, not anything that's going to bother me in my dining room, but as I said, I would take this guitar on stage. I played in front of people as it is right now without a hesitation. But if I were going to do that for an extended period, if I were going to do multiple gigs, if it was a regular gig for me, it was a moneymaker for me, I would replace the tuners. I would get something that, even if it's not a locking tuner, at least is just a little more solid. For the rest of the guitar, solidity is not a problem. Not at all. So, that's what I've got, y'all. Is this guitar worth $200? You damn betcha it is. All right. And, oh, by the way, I don't know anybody at Tomon. I don't know anybody who designs Harley Benton guitars. I don't get a dime for saying that this is a good guitar. I just get, well, what is the satisfaction of, I hope, cluing you in on a pretty good deal. So, there you go. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Shit. That's a thing that often one does expect on a Les Paul.